There's more to being a Buffalo Bills fan than breaking tables. Welcome to the More Than Breaking Tables podcast, a show about what really makes up the greatest fan base in the NFL. We're talking football and experts and fans from around the country. Here's your host and proud member of the Bills Mafia, Connor Copus.
It feels so good to be back. Connor Cobus, along with my partner Pasquale Maggiore, episode 4 of More Than Breaking Tables, and boy, do we have a lot to cover. For those that follow us on Facebook, Pasquale teased a little bit of some of the topics we're going to be talking about tonight. We have the preseason game to recap, Hard Knocks episode 2 on tonight, a picture that a lot of people are overreacting to, and more. So I'm going to pitch it to Pasquale. What's on your mind first? What do you want to talk about?
Good evening, Connor. How are you?
I'm doing great. Bills lost a preseason game, and it doesn't really affect me.
Yeah, do you think we need to go from least important, I should say, talking is hard, to most important?
Yeah, we'll start right away with the preseason game. Bills lost to the Giants 34-25. We thought it was going to be low scoring, a lot of touchdowns. Defense didn't look great, but people are overreacting and kind of thinking it's going to be a sign of what's to come in the regular season. And we just need to take a step back and realize most of the starters didn't play a lot. It's not a good gauge of what this team's going to be like. We focus more on individuals and what they do in the game, the people that are trying to make the team and earn roster spots. But I don't need to hear, we have a 5 to 6 year sample size of the Bills being a solid football team when it matters. A preseason game doesn't affect me, and I don't need any negative energy about it. What do you think?
So first of all, you jumped the lead, because when I said we need to talk about the least important thing first, I was talking about James Cook.
Oh, geez. Well, I'm just fired up.
Apparently so. I think the least important story that came out this week was the James Cook jumping in the daily news cycle.
Yeah, back at practice. I think he knows he needs to be at practice. If he holds out, it just reduces his value, and it's ultimately going to hurt him in the long run. So I know McDermott and him have been going back and forth, and they've been talking about ways to get him back on the field. He's a big part of this offense.
Yeah, Pro Football Talk is picking up on that with their daily tweets or posts, depending on what year you were born, about the James Cook situation. And it's just kind of taken on a life of its own. I've mentioned this on the program before. Could not care less about James Cook. If he's here, great. If he's not, no big deal. He does have another year to play on his contract, so I'm not really sure why we're having so much conversation about a running back that has another year left on his contract.
Very true, but seeing him at practice too, that makes me feel good. I want everyone who can play to be able to go in the home opener, so we'll see how that unfolds.
Yeah, and if he plays, he plays. If he doesn't, he doesn't. And if he doesn't play, he's going to be pretty stupid, because he's going to be fined and he's going to lose a lot of money, and then he's going to hurt his bottom line in general. So I don't care about James Cook, and I'm sick of getting the daily updates from every possible media outlet mentioning that James Cook is doing this, or James Cook is not doing this, or James Cook is doing that.
You're just going to have to mute James Cook on your social media. You won't get any notifications. I'll keep you posted. Don't worry about it.
I guess so.
Out of sight, out of mind.
All right, now I would transition over to the Bills losing a preseason game.
Yeah, just like we kind of touched on earlier, it is what it is, a preseason game, so not much to be concerned about. But there was a lot of takeaways from that game that we can look at. Tyrell Shavers had a tremendous game, one of the big plays, catching a touchdown pass. He looks primed to make a roster spot and be one of the hopefully 6 receivers that we keep on the team. Just more to that everybody eats mentality, giving Josh more weapons, with Shakir being a little banged up. We want to be able to attack defenses with a plethora of receivers. Another big, huge part of the Bills team this year is going to be the defensive line. No more Von Miller. We have Joey Bosa. Deion Walker was a huge steal that the Bills picked up. He caused some disruption earlier in that game, and we know that when it gets into the playoffs, and it's all about taking down and sacking the elite quarterbacks, the Mahomeses, the Burrows, the Lamar Jacksons. So that was a good sign to see, and it's important to see how we're going to progress with our defensive line this year.
Yeah, neither you or I were able to go to the game on Saturday, but I did spend 12 minutes of my life watching the highlights that were posted on YouTube. The NFL does a great job when it comes to condensing down a game, even if it's a preseason game. Still pop that on. Saw a couple great highlights at the end of the first half. Trubisky with almost that backyard football Madden type play to get the Bills down in scoring position. I believe they settled for a field goal, but still it's the thought that counts. And then in the second half, Mike White with a beautiful touchdown pass to Shavers we were talking about, correct?
Yep, Shavers, who had a really nice day. The ball was being thrown a lot. We'd like to see offense too. I mean, get these guys touches, see what they can do. Another player that stood out to me, I think he's one of the coolest stories of the Bills, is Joe Andreessen, Buffalo Joe. 2 years ago was tailgating. What are you rolling your eyes about?
What are we trying to sell tickets here? Who cares?
Listen, he's coming into his own. He had a good game. I think it's a cool story. We need depth to replace Milano when he eventually moves on. So I like it. What do you not like about the story?
Talk to me in week 7, then I might care a little bit more. We have a very successful NFL team that is selling out the stadium week after week, month after month, and we're on a pretty good stretch here. We don't need the goodwill, whatever Rudy or what's his name, Vince Papale story in the Buffalo Bills. I couldn't care less about Joe Andreessen. Sure, he's a nice guy. I'm sure he uses his left and right hand turn indicator when he makes turns, but that story means absolutely nothing to me. Let me correct myself, because if I don't do it, nobody else will. That touchdown pass by Mike White was to Hamler, 39 yards, and that was in the third quarter. So before people say that we're spreading false information here on More Than Breaking Tables, I wanted to correct myself before we went any further.
Yeah, so I think it's safe to say you won't be purchasing an Andreessen jersey anytime soon. No worries at all on that. Not that extent. He'll be on the roster. We'll see what happens.
No, again, he's a nice guy, but I just don't care.
Yeah, that's fine. Who's your biggest player takeaway from the preseason game? Who did you like? The highlights that you did watch.
I got to go with Mike White. I don't understand why, at this point, Mitch Trubisky would be number 2. I understand he's friends with Josh. I understand he's got a Polish last name. You know, the people in Cheektowaga, the people in Depew and Sloan might get behind that. But I am all about taking a look at Mike White at number 2. I have no idea why Shane Buechele is still on this team, but people that are higher up might know more about me. But I'm going to go with Mike White. Once again, I mentioned this on this program before. I listen to a lot of New York sports talk radio because, A, they can talk about baseball, and 2, they have some pretty good baseball conversations, except when they go a little bit too Yankee heavy. So I was listening to WFAN when the Mike White hype train was rolling through East Rutherford, New Jersey, and I'm interested to see what he can do. I'd like to see him start one of these last 2 preseason games rather than, throw Trubisky out there, throw Buechele out there again. Maybe you grab a 4th-string quarterback from Buff State if you're trying to sell, some more tickets, get some more views on social media for the Buff State folks out there. But Mike White so far is going to be my story of this preseason, Connor.
Yeah, definitely, and I second that. I want to see more of Mike White. You know what you're getting with Mitch. He's going to run the offense. I want a guy that can kind of stretch the field and make plays. Mike White had a solid run with the Jets for a couple of starts where he was hot. Do you remember the game where Milano had the hardest hit on him when we played the Jets at home? And do you think he gets flashbacks going up against Milano in practice?
For sure, yeah. Also,
that was insane.
Yeah. One thing I'm leaving out, too, that I want to get in here before we transition over to the next topic is I want to see more out of Gore Jr. and I want to see more out of Johnson at running back and see what we can do here just in case, James Cook doesn't feel like showing up week 1 to play a football game that he's contractually obligated to do.
Yeah, and we know what we're going to have in Ty Johnson. Frank Gore Jr. is important to get more carries. And I think the whole perspective of the running game helps when you have such a good offensive line that the Bills do. And it's a team football's the ultimate team game. There's certain elite playmakers at the running back position in the NFL, but when you have 5 guys that are in unison up front, that are blocking, creating space for you, it makes your job a whole hell of a lot easier. And we'll see who's under center, Josh, but we'll see who's behind him week 1 against the Ravens as that kind of unfolds.
Yeah, and you're the football guy on this program, so I will defer to you when it comes to that stuff. You've played organized football. I have not. I was supposed to go to training camp my senior year of high school for the North Tonawanda Lumberjacks. Ended up having my appendix taken out, so couldn't do that. Wrestled instead, and the rest was history. But before we talk about the big story of the week, let's take a look back. Did you get to check out last week's Hard Knocks, speaking is hard episode? It's being air conditioning. I can't talk.
No, you're good. You're totally fine. I didn't catch it live, realized I had HBO as a part of my Spectrum package, watched it. First thing I woke up the next morning. I enjoyed the first episode. A couple takeaways. The drift racing with Deion Dawkins I thought was super cool. A little dangerous, but super cool. Definitely wasn't a fan of seeing AJ Epineza with the snake. Like, there's not a chance I'm touching one of those. I don't think that's enjoyable. That's wild. But it was cool seeing people mic'd up. I like seeing Tre'Davious White and the work he puts in after practice. He's running up the hills at St. John Fisher. He was always a fan favorite when he was here. We know about the injuries. I'm rooting for him to have a big impact, especially with Hairston being down a little bit. He's just one of those players that wants to be a part of the culture. He wasn't going to come back to play for any other team. So he wants to be here, and I'm excited to have him.
Yeah, and it was really cool seeing those scenes at the Pittsburgh Dairy, Tre'Davious White buying some fans some ice cream. It was cool for me. As I mentioned, we were there on the first day of training camp, so we saw the crew filming Josh Allen throw into his receivers at the end of practice. Kind of cool seeing that, going back in time, checking that out. I'm looking forward to tonight's episode, but again, I won't be watching it live. I'm going to have to check that one out tomorrow. But I always go back and forth a lot with why do we like this team so much? Why do we spend so much time, so much emotion, so much effort on a football team? And watching Hard Knocks kind of reinforces why we love this team so much and why this team has such a hold on our community.
Yeah, and you talk about the special bond Buffalo has with the Bills and what we've been through as a city, going back to the Kelly era with the 4 Super Bowls, the weather that we stick it out, going to games in December and January. We kind of all embrace that blue-collar mentality. And the Bills, it's like you talk about winter, spring, fall, summer seasons. It's Bill season and waiting for Bill season. And right now, I don't count preseason as football. It just doesn't hit me the same way. But that September 4th when the Cowboys and Eagles kick off and then full slate of games on Sunday, it's nothing better than fall weather and football. And we're so lucky to have this team. And to Hard Knocks, like you said, just makes you have that personalized touch with a bunch of the players.
Yeah, and we've touched on this before, and it wasn't me that came up with this idea. It was another NFL analyst whose name is escaping me at the moment, but they talked about this could be the most boring Hard Knocks ever just because the Bills are so buttoned up. McDermott runs a tight ship. Josh Allen is the leader of the team. So, rumors are that this week is going to focus a lot on James Cook, which is going to be, frustrating for myself because, once again, I can't say this enough. I don't care about the James Cook situation, but if we're focusing on that this week, that's going to be a bit of a diversion from the spirit that we had during last week's episode.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Josh is always buttoned up in interviews. Fun fact, I just heard about him today. He was sober for 11 years. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, then he turned 12. Oh man, he's got some great one-liners. I see him on Bussin' with the Boys. It's just like I can't get enough of him, man. He's such a cool dude. I'm glad he's our quarterback. He just carries himself so well. Easy to root for. So I'm excited to see him on Hard Knocks again for episode 2. And it's tough watching other people play. I know we talked about Mike White and Mitch. It's just not the same with 17 not under center. Doesn't get me as much excitement.
Yeah, I just actually saw an Instagram reel or short, whatever you want to call it, about Khalil Shakir's event that he does at the end of August, pet related. I will find the information on that. But in seeing Josh there, seeing the rest of the team coming out to support him in his endeavors when it comes to fundraising and charity, I'm sure they all go to each other's events and functions. Obviously, Josh highly involved with Oshai Children's Hospital, a pitchman for West Her. Now he's doing Snickers ads. He's doing an ad for sleeping pills and amongst other things. So, front and center is the man, the myth, the legend, Josh Allen, and we're lucky to have him here with us.
Yeah, and the Snickers commercial I saw, he's talking to a guy and he's like, Josh Allen ruined your fantasy team. And the guy's upset about it. So he's laughing at that. And seeing him in the commercials is great. The more exposure for the Bills, we love. So excited to tune into Hard Knocks episode 2 at 9 tonight. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be up for that one.
Yeah, and before we transition over to what'll be our second to last topic of the evening, just want to give a shout out to Matt Johnson, who actually just popped in our chat saying, "Sup, boys." I don't think he's talking about the Cowboys. I think he's talking about you and I.
Matt, sup?
Matt is the host of Eat, Sleep, and List over on YouTube, so make sure you go and check out his stuff. He's got some very intriguing lists that he does. Normally his show will run from 20 to 30, sometimes 40 minutes, depending upon what he wants to talk about. I've done several podcasts with Matt, great human being, so please make sure you check out Matt's stuff. And Matt, thank you for watching us here tonight. But Connor, I'm going to let you steer the ship. I'm getting a little bit tired. My throat is starting to close up a little bit, and talk about what we're all here, I guess, to talk about this evening.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the picture that everyone's talking about on social media that truly is just a picture. We're going to post that for you right now. It's of Josh Allen, Hailee Steinfeld doing what two people do often, which is go out to dinner. Someone snags a picture, posts it on social media so they can gain a lot of clout, a lot of followers, get a lot of likes, and now people are overreacting to whether you should do this sort of thing when you see celebrities in public. I'm of the stance that you should just let them enjoy their dinner. It's a private place. Would you want to be taken pictures of if you were at dinner like this? I'm sure they don't want to be. Yes, they're celebrities, but there's a time and a place for all of that stuff. I've had a bunch of different situations that I've been in where I've been around celebrities. I was golfing at Craigburn Country Club earlier this June, sitting at the bar, getting ready for a round, and Brandon Beane was having lunch, literally 10 feet from me. So at first, oh shit, Brandon Beane's there, hits me. Take a deep breath, text your buddies, it's cool, you don't need to go up and approach them. They all have their lives to live. There's plenty of times you could see them at the stadium when they're signing autographs, but I just think it's a little bit of an invasion of privacy.
Yeah, and my biggest argument is I was trying to figure out which restaurant they were at. Obviously a restaurant that I've never been to, but it's exciting. You see a celebrity for the average person. I'm not going to put myself in that category. Again, with my background in professional wrestling, I've had the privilege of sharing the locker room with guys that I've watched growing up on television. I've had a lot of exposure to athletes working downtown at a couple prominent bars. So I understand why this person may want to take a photo. I don't know if they approached the table after, they finished their meal, maybe after Josh and Hailee finished their meal or whatnot. But yeah, this photo made the rounds on all the secondary sites, all the major sites. And hey, they're human beings. They can go out to dinner. Josh had the day off. Obviously, he was at the game, but still didn't have to get in any kind of game action. Not sure what Hailee's schedule is looking like in the coming weeks and months. Will she be the new it girl when it comes to the NFL broadcast like Taylor Swift has been the last couple of years? I don't know. It's just my own general aggravation that comes with having to be on social media. There's another story making the round today that situation in East Aurora where that gentleman removed that older gentleman's hat. And, I just see people sharing that and offering their opinions on it, people being keyboard warriors and, just tough guys in general. Not a good situation, not what you want to see, but why do you continue to share this stuff and make yourself even more mad when you have your own life to focus on, or maybe for some people, lack thereof? So My biggest thing is just the whole social media mentality of share, comment, like, etc., etc., etc. Good for Josh and Hailee getting out there.
Where do you think they were at dinner? I can't even tell.
Definitely not at Red Robin. Definitely not at Olive. Why is talking so hard tonight? Definitely not at Olive Garden. Definitely not at. Is there still a what's it called? Bravo, like an Italian restaurant. I don't know. They were at some nice.
Yeah, one of Buffalo's better restaurants. Hutch's, maybe. I don't know. I'm just throwing names out.
Know.
Yeah.
Maybe,
where do you take? And they talk about that a lot, like with Beam. Where do you take free agents when they come to visit the Bills and show them the best? I mean, there's a ton of spots.
Well, Hutch's used to be the spot where the free agents came in. There's a couple other places they would go to on a regular basis, and it's slipping my mind right now. But obviously, they're at a nice restaurant, trying to have a night by themselves. You know, as they are both in the celebrity life and the celebrity light, they have to expect this kind of stuff. But once again, why keep sharing it? Why keep reposting it? And why keep doing that?
Yeah, and like you could see in the picture, they're just looking at each other. But what if they turn to the left, start like catch a glance with the person taking the picture? Super awkward, super uncomfortable. Like if you bump into a celebrity out in the wild, say hello. But I don't know. I just don't think we need to be making a bigger deal than what it is.
Very good. And yeah, I'm sure we'll see that photo for another like 2 weeks, 3 weeks till the season starts. But hey, they're living their best lives, as the kids say.
And I think the whole when you think of Josh Allen and Hailee Steinfeld, like a power couple with the whole Hollywood career she has, it's a little bit of a break from what's been going on with the Chiefs and you know who. So I'll focus our attention on the Bills and what we have going on. But ever since Josh and Hailee have been together, Josh is pretty solid. So let's keep it rolling.
So I don't know about you, Connor, but I got one more thing I want to talk about. Anything else you want to get off your chest aside from crumpling that can and annoying our listeners?
Yeah. Is it coming through the airwaves pretty good?
Pretty clear. Pretty obvious.
No, like I said, we talked about Hard Knocks tonight. I'm excited about that. Preseason game number 2, I'm going to catch the whole thing. So I'm excited about that as well. I'm in a bunch of fantasy leagues. I know you don't do fantasy, right? You're not a fantasy guy?
No, I play Madden, and that's coming out on Thursday. I'm looking forward to that.
So you got your Madden. I got to get my draft order right. I'm a Bills homer, so the more Bills I can get on my team makes it more enjoyable. So I'm definitely excited about that, and just keep looking forward to September 4th weekend.
All right, let me take the wheel here for a second then to close out the program. When was the last time you made a very regrettable purchase, and how much was that purchase?
$300.
Okay.
And it was Stephon Diggs autograph picture.
Ooh, wow.
2 months before we traded him.
For a picture?
It's a huge picture. It's him smashing the beer cans against the Dolphins.
Okay, I got you. $300. Where'd you buy that from? Like a reputable?
It was at an auction. I bid on it, and when he retires, it'll be better. But with him being on the Patriots right now, it's not the same.
All right, I'm not sure if everybody can see this, but this is a farewell season Antigua polo shirt that I bought directly from the Bills store. $89.99, and I bought an extra large because in most shirts, that's what I wear, an extra large. So obviously the Bills store does not have a fitting room, so I took the shirt home, put it on. It was pretty baggy, looked a little awkward, so threw it downstairs, put the washing machine on hot, ran it through, throw it through a couple cycles of high heat on the dryer, shrunk down a little bit, but not enough. Wore it to my company golf tournament, and I came home, looked at myself in the mirror and said, that shirt is way too big. So once again, $89.99 later, I looked at my receipt from the Bills store. They will not return anything that has been washed, anything that the labels have been removed. So I'm thinking to myself, what is the easiest way to unload this shirt? eBay's fees continuously go up. So I haven't done eBay yet, but I put it on Facebook Marketplace.
Yep.
dealt with a couple very rude, very inconsiderate people. So when I argue that I don't like a lot of Bills fans, this really backs up my argument. This one guy offered me $20 for a brand new $90 shirt that I wore only once, commemorating the last season of Highmark Stadium, aka the Ralph, aka Rich Stadium, aka the Mark. So I got this shirt over in front of my television that I paid $90 for. Not to mention, 70 of those $90 came from my Bills Bucks card for being a season ticket holder. So now I'm stuck with a shirt, and I'd like to go back to the Bills store and buy another one, but I gotta get something to put towards that new shirt, because the other shirt I'm looking at close to $100, and I want it bad, but I gotta be financially responsible, fiscally responsible as we get ready to go into the new stadium, and I need somebody to step up and make a better offer on that shirt than $20.
Exactly. And people listening on Facebook and YouTube right now, look at the shirt, make Pasquale an offer, okay? $20, that's kind of shitty. Let's get him something that's going to have value. He's going to post it right now. Okay, this is a commemorative shirt. Last season at the Ralph, it could be yours. And it's one of the hosts of More Than Breaking Tables. Crazy. Also, Pasquale, I forgot to announce something to you. I kind of want to broadcast about it.
Let's go.
Made a pretty big decision. My dad and I officially got our PSLs for the new stadium. So since 2009 was the last year I owned season tickets. They were $376 in the rock pile. Obviously, tickets have gone up. We got in the upper deck section. The Bills Stadium experience was great, and I couldn't be more happy about it.
Yeah, the rock pile, definitely the best value in the stadium for a number of years. I myself sat in the rock pile for a number of years. Then I made the mistake and moved up to section 316, which was quite possibly the worst experience I've ever had in that stadium. A lot of college kids coming in after the first quarter, so drunk that they could barely say their first name. That was very awkward. Moved back down to the rock pile and then moved over, down and over, I should say, to section 135. And I myself, too, am moving to section 138 when the new stadium rolls around. So congratulations to you. It's
we'll both be there.
Yeah, it's debt, but it's good debt, right?
Good debt, yes, exactly. Student loans, bad debt. Bills season tickets, good debt. We love some good debt that's going to have value. And if we're celebrating a Super Bowl team, that's even better, and you're playing with house money. So
yeah, we got about 2.5 minutes left here. So anything else Bills related you want to get to? You want to get the plugs out there?
Yeah, no, I mean, I just kind of talking about the preseason game and Ty Johnson and everybody that kind of contributed. I'm going to be keeping an eye on a bunch of people to see how reps go against the Bears. Overall, though, I mean, we're 4 episodes in. Does it seem like the season's far away to you?
No, not at all, because like I mentioned, I'm picking up Madden on Thursday. We got a Sunday night preseason game, which I'll watch about 40 minutes of and then go to bed because I got to be up early the next morning. Then we'll have another preseason game. Are you a college football fan?
I am. Yep, so I'm excited about that.
So I am not. So I got that week off in between preseason football and the NFL regular season. But yeah, it's coming up. I mean, I'm looking at my phone. Tuesday, August 12th, we're looking at. We're right in the thick of it, brother.
Yeah. Does it make you feel old? College football, opening week. Biggest game is Texas against Ohio State. Texas's quarterback is Arch Manning, Peyton Manning's nephew. Like, are we getting, like, it makes me feel super old. Like, what is going on?
Time flies when you're having fun, as they say.
I know. So it's crazy as people who love the NFL watch people grow up in different eras as far as that's concerned. But that's going to be it for us today on More Than Breaking Tables. Thanks for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you next week. And as always, go Bills.
All right, we've done this 4 weeks in a row, and you don't know the protocol to end the show yet. Where can people find you on social media, Connor?
At Connor Kobus.
All right, and you can find me at WNY Pasquale on Facebook, Instagram. Me and X are having a bit of a parting of the ways right now, so I haven't been utilizing that. I think we are streaming on X for this program right now, but also Buffalo Championship Wrestling is now only about 6 weeks away. The Big Fall Bash in North Tonawanda at the Renaissance Club, 6:30 p.m. bell time. If you want to find out more information about that, at BCWWNY. Facebook, Instagram. Go to YouTube, subscribe to our channel at BCWWNY. If you want to buy tickets for that event, bcw-wny.com. Now, Connor, how do we close the program?
Follow me at Connor Kobus on X, at Connor Kobus 17 on Instagram. 5th time's the charm. I'll get it right for you next week, buddy.
Go Bills. We'll talk to you. We'll talk to everyone again.
Everybody.
Here. Yes, everyone. Next week for more and Breaking Tables.
MTBT!